2025 inaugural ceremony for the City of Bristol municipal elections. I'm Aaron Lopez, joined with David Fortier, editor-in-chief of the Bristol edition. David, tonight, the candidates who were just elected are going to be sworn into office. Now, my understanding is that they got to choose who was to swear them in.
Well, there's one condition. The person who swears them in has to be an officer of the court. So they have to have some kind of legal function. It could be a justice of the peace, it could be a lawyer. So anyone who swears them in, you can choose them, but you have to also, they also have to serve an official capacity because they take an official oath. These people are taking an oath of office. So it's got to have some kind of credibility. So it comes through our system, our process.
And that's why, as we were gathering information, I thought it was quite interesting as to who of some of the candidates selected to swear them in. Not only that, but we have one small snippet of Eric Rosengreen, who not only is going to be sworn in, but he's going to swear in on his childhood Bible. How beautiful is that, right? That's so beautiful. And the event is going to start here shortly. Here behind us, as you can see, on the stage. So we're waiting for it to commence, and I believe it might start now.
There we go.
Okay, so we still have some time for everybody watching on the live stream. Now, David, how exciting is this for the Bristol edition to have their first ever coverage of a live inauguration ceremony?
It's terrific. I mean, I don't even know how to begin to say how this thing came together and how we're even here today. I mean, a lot of that credit goes to Aaron.
No.
Some behind the scenes people, we have Angelo. And so it's, we're really pleased and happy to be able to bring this into people's homes. This is a terrific event. It is a swearing in. It's not a sports event, but it's got historical consequences. It's something that should be on the record. Tonight, what we have here is bands at the Rockwell Theater, and we have a packed downstairs. We've got at least 300 people here. So somebody thought enough of this event to come out on this rainy night to watch the swearing in.
Absolutely, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say congratulations to all the candidates who were just recently elected. All the hard work that must go into that campaign, all for a night like this, to be not only celebrated but actually inducted into their respective seats. So it must be something that they're really excited about, and all that hard work that they did for their campaign, which must be long hours, setting at the polls, all that work to convince all those voters for a night tonight to celebrate that event.
Right. And I do want us to have all the candidates put in that hard work.
So it seems like we're about to begin the ceremony. We're going to bring you live coverage starting now. Please enjoy the 2025 inauguration ceremony here of the municipal elections.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike DeCastro. I'm the chairman of the Bristol Democratic Town Committee, and I'm glad to welcome you to this 2025 inauguration ceremony. Thank you, police, color guard, for the presentation of colors. Before we go any further, I would ask Melina Floyd to come forward and lead us in the national anthem.
David.
Present.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Melina. Thank you. I'd like to introduce the Reverend Rachel Anderson from Glory Day Lutheran Church for the invocation.
Tough act to follow. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much. Welcome to the inauguration. I'm so excited to be here this evening. I would invite you to call on your higher power now. I would invite us all to get into a space where we can be in communion with our Creator, with our reason for being. If we can call that love and that grace into the room with us this evening. And let us pray. Gracious and generous God, tonight we come with hearts deeply thankful. Thankful for the gifts of this community. Thankful for the work of those who have served this city. And thankful for the willingness of those who now step forward to lead. Indeed, we all come from many backgrounds, by many paths. Yet tonight we are all inspired by a singular mission: to seek the well-being of all who inhabit this beloved city we call home. As our newly elected mayor and our city council members assume their new responsibilities, we ask your blessing. Empower them, O God. Grant them integrity to be true. Grant them courage to be just. Grant them humility to walk with all people. Inspire them with the wisdom to defeat prejudice and the compassion to stand in solidarity with the poor, that our city may be unified. Move them to work on behalf of the hungry, the sick, the imprisoned, the forgotten, those closest to your heart. May they always find in us a willingness to support, to partner, and to serve alongside them. And may we all view this remarkable moment as an invitation to move forward with purpose, to challenge anything that would diminish justice, and to take up the sacred work of healing our communities and lifting the lives of all those around us. May our purpose be true, may our actions be selfless, and may our city, may our beloved city of Bristol flourish in peace and justice for all. Amen. Amen.
You're up, Dante.
Those are very inspiring words, and thank you for sharing those with us tonight. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dante Tegriello, and I'm one of the vice chairs of the Democratic Town Committee. Before we continue with the illustrious swearing-in ceremony, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of the distinguished public servants and community leaders who have joined us today. We are honored to be joined by several of our state elected officials, including Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysowitz, State Representative Mary Fortier, and our Judge of Probate, Bill Hamsey. Each of them represents Connecticut with integrity, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to serving the people of our state. In addition to those dignitaries, we also welcome strong supporters of the incoming administration. First, I want to recognize the newly elected Democratic mayor of the town of Plymouth, Mayor Sikorsky. Former Democratic mayor of the city of Bristol, John Leone. The president of the Connecticut Building Trades, Joe Toner. The president emeritus of the state of Connecticut, AFL-CIO, John Olson. The business manager of the IBEW Local 90, John Bellamere. Last but not least, good friend of Mayor-elect Sapo Sasu and the former mayor of Hartford, Luke Bronin. Once again, I thank all our distinguished guests for their leadership, partnership, and continued service to our community. At this time, it is my honor to invite the Lieutenant Governor, Susan Bysowitz, to offer a few words of greeting.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here at this celebration of democracy and new leadership in Bristol. You know, from the dawn of our country, when we started pre-American Revolution to today, more than 1 million Americans have given their lives in service to our country so that we can live as we choose, speak as we choose, worship as we choose, and in my estimation, the most important right that we have as Americans that many people across the globe do not have, the right to choose our leaders. And so today, as we prepare for Veterans Day tomorrow, I think it's very important important that we say thank you to some courageous Americans who have sacrificed so that we are able to enjoy these very precious freedoms and inaugurate these great people behind me. And I am speaking of our United States military veterans, and I would ask all who are with us this evening, if you served in our United States military, would you please stand so that we can say thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so grateful for your service to our country. Thank you for giving us this great opportunity to have free elections. The second group of people I think that need to be recognized are the group of people, they are patient, they are sacrificing, they are supportive, and they serve alongside or will serve alongside of these folks who have been elected. And I am speaking of the spouses and the family members of our elected officials. This is not easy, ladies and gentlemen, and I think all of our family members should stand, please, and be recognized. And I will just offer to the spouses and the family members that my husband is an expert at spousal counseling to elected officials, spouses, if you need that. I also just want to say thank you to everyone who ran. It is not easy, whatever party, to put yourself out there and run for office. It takes a lot of courage to do that, especially for the first time. And to those who have run and served before, thank you, because you know exactly what you are getting into, and we appreciate the fact that you are willing to do that again. The people who are sitting behind me are here because they just want to make this beautiful community even better. They are not getting paid, but for the mayor, they are doing this because they love this community and they want to use their time and talents to make it better. So let us give them a round of applause for their service. And finally, I want to say on behalf of Governor Lamont and myself, how much we are looking forward to again working with Mayor Ellen Zappo. She is one of the most hard-working, tenacious people that I know. She loves municipal government. She is extremely knowledgeable. She loves this community and she is ready to make it better, and she has an incredible team with her to help. They are also extremely talented and willing to roll up their sleeves for this great city, and the governor and I can't wait to help. We believe in her leadership, and I see so many people in the audience who are supportive and ready to do the same. So Mayor Zappo, God bless you, this incredible team that you have. Let's make a difference for the people of Bristol together. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Always happy to have you in town. So, okay. All right, let's get this started. So first up, Board of Assessment Appeals. I would ask Anne Marie Herring, Greg Klemick, and Liza Salgado Circo to come forth to have the oath administered by Ken Rasmussen Teller.
if you'd like to use the Bible.
Yeah, sure.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws, the ordinances of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant hereto, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as Board of Assessment Appeals Commissioners, according to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God?
I do.
I do. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Next up, Board of Education. I would ask Jill Fitzsimons-Beulah, Carol Ledger, and Barbara Tedesco to please come forward. Just for program note, Jennifer Van Gorder took her oath earlier this afternoon. And I would also ask the former chairman of the Bristol Board of Education, Jennifer Tagliarella, to come forth to administer the oath. Jen, the mic.
Oh, I'm just waiting for.
Come a little closer.
Do you want me to hold your Bible more? She wants to hold it. Okay. Oh, I'll hold you the time this, okay? Want to help me hold it? Okay, and you guys all just hold up your right hands. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws, the ordinances of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant thereto, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as Commissioners to the Board of Education, according to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God? I do. I do. I'm so proud of you, ladies.
In Council District 1, Gregory Hahn will be sworn in by Rippy Patton. Mr. Hahn.
Ready? Thank you. Very welcome. Do you, Gregory Hahn, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws, the ordinances of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant thereto, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as a member of City Council, according to the best of your knowledge and ability. So help you God?
I do. Also in District 1, Councilman Eric Rosengren, would you come forward? And the Honorable William Hansey, Probate Court Judge, and Eric's wife, Vicki Rosengren, please come forth, holding the Bible. Thanks.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws, the ordinances of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant thereto, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as a member of the City Council, according to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God?
I will.
Congratulations.
All right, District 2, Peter Kelly, please come forth. And Mr. Scott Rosato will administer the oath.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws, the ordinances of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant thereto, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as City Councilman for the City of Bristol, according to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God?
I do.
Also in District 2, Susan Tyler, Councilwoman Tyler, come forward. And again, the oath administered by the Honorable William Hansey.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws, the ordinances of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant thereto, and that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as a member of the City Council according to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God?
I will.
On to District 3. Councilman Mark Dickow, please come forward. And his uncle Tom Dickow will administer the oath. Tom Dickow, our city historian.
Mark, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws, and the ordinance of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant therefore, and that you will faithfully discharge according to law all your duties as a member of the City Council, according to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God?
I do.
And finally, in District 3, would Stephen Seymour come forward to have the oath administered by the Secretary, our Lieutenant Governor?
Yeah, I was not going to do it.
We're gonna use this one, I guess. She can't hold shit.
You can hold it. All right. If you'd raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as city councilor in Bristol to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.
City Treasurer John Lodovico, please come forward to have the oath administered by his cousin Michael Petosa.
John, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws, the ordinance of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant thereto, and that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as treasurer according to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.
All right. This next one I'm thrilled to do. So I am absolutely thrilled to do. Ellen Zappo-Sasso will be sworn in by her fellow St. Joseph School, St. Paul High School alumni and Federal Hill neighbor, and former colleague on the City Council, State Representative Mary Fortier. Please come forward.
I'm giving this to Peter. Ready? I'm going to do this slightly differently. I'm going to ask Ellen to repeat after me. I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws,
and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut and its laws,
the ordinances of the City of Bristol enacted pursuant thereto,
the ordinances of the City of Bristol pursuant thereto,
and that you will faithfully discharge according to law
and that I will faithfully discharge according to law
my duties as mayor of the City of Bristol
my duties as the mayor of the City of Bristol
according to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my knowledge and abilities, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Two other quick notes. I did want to acknowledge really quickly Jim Vigu, who is the head of leads AFT. Jim, thank you for being here tonight. I also want to thank Sarah Sullivan sitting back here, who's a longtime member of our DTC. We had her up here as a backup for swearing in case we needed her, and Sarah took the job on. And so, Sarah, thanks for doing that. So. All right, I'd like to introduce Sarah Sherman, another Sarah, who will provide us with a little song here, God Bless the Child.
Thank you.
Then it's not shows. So the Bible says, and it still is news. And pardon me, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. It's the strong get me by the weak one's free. Empty pockets down and make a grave. And pardon me, God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Mommy, you've got lots of friends crawling around like dogs. Running gone and spending ends. They don't call around no more. Generations give rest of ransoms. You can help yourself, but don't take too much. Pardon me, God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. You've got lots of friends crowding around your door. When it's gone and spending ends, they don't come around your mind. And that's got something, and that's not sounds. For the Bible says that it still is news. is Mamma Mia and Papa Mia. But God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Every child has got his own. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mayor Ellen Sapo-Sasu.
Good evening, and thank you to everyone who is here tonight, the families and friends of our elected officials, the citizens who have come here to witness an orderly transition of power, the dignitaries who are gracing us with their presence, department heads and city employees, chairs and commissioners of our city boards. Thank you for being part of this night. I am very confident that this talented group of newly inaugurated officials will work together with dedication, integrity, and courage. They will take on the big issues, reject the status quo when necessary, listen, and seek bipartisan support to accomplish what is important to this community. In today's political climate, it's all too easy to point fingers and label everything as red or blue. I have always believed that local government is about the people and not the party. Who can disagree that our vision for downtown includes safe, walkable sidewalks where neighbors gather for community events and small businesses can thrive? Who would argue that every student in the Bristol Public Schools deserves a fair and equitable education, and that teachers and staff deserve the resources that they need in order to make that happen? And who thinks that smoothly paved streets, vibrant libraries, clean drinking water, and award-winning parks aren't part of what is an important quality of life? These are not Democratic or Republican issues. These are Bristol issues. And tonight I want to briefly outline what some of those priorities are going to include moving forward. First, I think taxation has been at the forefront of everyone's minds, and I promise that I will lead a thoughtful discussion about priority budgeting and pursue opportunities to increase efficiencies while reducing our costs. We have done this successfully before, and I believe that we can continue to do it and do it again. Sudden spikes in property taxes are economic pressures that our residents do not need to face. To the many families, senior citizens, and others who are struggling economically, I promise that we will be analyzing every potential avenue during this budget process to insulate you from further tax spikes. Second, advocacy for education. The state of Connecticut is our partner in funding education, and I very much appreciate the work of Governor Lamont, Lieutenant Governor Bysowitz, and the state legislature for what they did during the last legislative session. But unfortunately, it was not enough. It is still insufficient funding and does not solve the long-term funding issues with ECS. And I hope that the City Council and that the Board of Education will seize this moment tonight and move forward together to protect Bristol's strong educational reputation. To the many BOE employees who show up for our students every day, we see you, we hear you, and we are committed to funding education as a top priority. Homelessness is another priority. The rise in people who are unhoused is a real concern in this community. We've heard it over and over in the last few months. One of my main goals is to re-energize our nonprofit and social services network, known as Bristol Cares, over the next month so that we can have a winter plan in place that makes sense and begin to pursue long-term solutions. To those who are currently homeless, who are shuttling between places to stay, or on the verge of losing your housing, we see you and we are here to help. Fourth, economic development. We must pursue aggressive economic development to grow the grand list and move it out of this period of stagnancy and expand revenue to offset taxes. We will accomplish this through recruitment, retention, and public-private partnerships in order to stimulate investment. And to those businesses, large and small, home-based and startup, we see you and we want to help you chart a successful future here in Bristol. Infrastructure and public safety is another key area. We will also invest in our infrastructure and our public safety to preserve and improve our quality of life for everyone here. To the members of our police and fire departments, we pledge to ensure that worker safety and equipment standards are maintained so that you may continue to provide safety and a strong response to our residents who have come to rely upon these high standards and services. To achieve these goals, we have to work together. And I know we can because Bristol has done hard things before. I think of 1920 and Albert Rockwell, who in this very building was a major benefactor. In fact, he seized control of that building project from the city council, who he felt were incompetent, and he hired hundreds of skilled tradesmen to deliver quality construction on time and under budget. I think of the 1930s when local industrialists boarded a train on Main Street and headed to New York City to secure financing that bailed Bristol out of a crisis, which led to the creation of the Board of Finance that we have today. And I think of 1969 when the city invested millions to keep General Motors and thousands of jobs here by building a new factory on Chippens Hill. And I also think of the late 1970s, and I was at some of these meetings, when a young Republican mayor and an entire Democratic city council worked together to establish the industrial park on Route 229. And then, a few months later, when the Bristol Development Authority had a 4-3 vote to sell land to an entrepreneurial sports and entertainment startup that other municipalities had rejected as too much of a risk. That entrepreneurial spirit and determination is part of our city's DNA, and we must embrace that again. The cycles of history are meant to teach us, and from the 1850s and into the early 20th century, Bristol's population grew as immigrants arrived to work in our factories. Like many families here tonight, my Italian grandfather and Irish great-great-grandfather came for a better life. And today those cycles are repeating with a wide array of diversity and cultures coming to Bristol. To my friends from Bangladesh, Cambodia, Puerto Rico, Albania, and so many more countries, we see you and we welcome you. In our Bristol schools alone, there are over a dozen languages spoken by students. We must continue to welcome people and to uphold dignity and respect for all who come here to live and work and raise their families. As this ceremony ends, and as we begin our work with the City Council meeting on Wednesday night, please take a moment to turn over your program book and see what we're going to do together in terms of helping to continue to fight food insecurity. As a show of unity and working together from tonight moving forward, each elected official has chosen a cause to champion. Of immediate need is a cash collection that you are encouraged to donate a few dollars to tonight on your way out, which will help our family resource center's immediate and very pressing need to assist families with a Thanksgiving meal. Or we may pick one of the other suggestions and perform an act of charitable giving or kindness at your convenience to celebrate this new chapter of Bristol's history. Thank you for coming tonight, and on behalf of those who sit on the stage, I thank you for your support and ask you to continue with that support as we chart a new course at City Hall. Thank you.
everyone please stay standing. We just a quick few thank yous, and then I will ask Reverend Angel to come up here and give the benediction. First and foremost, thank you to the staff and folks here at the Bristol Arts and Innovation Magnet School. Great work. Beautiful facility. Thank you to the troops, Boy Scouts from Troop 14, the Scouts of America, I'm sorry, and I'm an old Eagle Scout, from Troop 1425. The Bristol Honor Guard from the Bristol Police Department, thank you, fantastic. Our musical guests back here, who we didn't introduce, Don Doucette on bass, Scott Heff on piano, Carl Knox on sax, and Ed Robo on drums. And to all the members of our Democratic Town Committee, those who are out working in the room tonight, those who keep us focused and worked hard. As your chairman, thank you very much. You guys were our just one last note, those who have been elected and sworn in tonight will form a line here, a receiving line at the front of the stage at the completion of the ceremonies, which is going to happen next. So Reverend Rachel Anderson, please give us the benediction and get us out of here.
Happy to do that. Happy to do that for you. Well, thank you very much, Mayor. That was an inspiring speech. I hope you all feel inspired. Thank you. We're going to get out there and we're going to make Bristol incredible, more incredible than it already is. You guys ready? Yeah, we got this. So, let us go forth from this place of celebration and into the life of our city, committed to the ways of peace. Let us go forth with courage, the courage to face the challenges of our time with honesty, the courage to make difficult decisions with wisdom, and the courage to speak for those whose voices are seldom heard. Let us hold fast to what is good, to justice, which ensures fairness, to compassion, which builds community, and to integrity, which builds trust. May we always seek the common good for all of our neighbors. Let us return no one evil for evil. In times of disagreement, let us seek understanding. In times of division, let us be builders of bridges. Let us strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, and help the suffering, making this new chapter in our city's life one defined by our care for one another. Let us honor all people. May we dedicate ourselves to serving this community with gladness. And may we rejoice in the spirit of service and the shared bonds of humanity that draw us all together as one. Go in peace. Okay, just a quick reminder, Veterans Day ceremonies will be here tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Thank you for your attendance tonight.
You want to get the march?
And they'll be live down here. Good night, these ceremonies are over.
Get the march?
Or not. So we're just going to they're going to come down for interviews. They're coming down for interviews. Yes, they're coming. So we just talk until they come down.
And they know they're coming by.
Yeah, and they're not on ground when they come by. Let me know when you're ready. Our mic's good. Thank you. That was the 2025 inaugural ceremony for the City of Bristol municipal election. Again, I'm Aaron Lopez, joined with David Fortier. David, a beautiful ceremony nonetheless. We saw all the candidates get sworn in by people on this list. How beautiful was it to see Eric Rosengreen get inducted on a Bible from his childhood, like we mentioned he was going to do before? That's what this is all about, right?
Yeah, I think it is. The other part I'm a geek. I'm a history geek. And the ceremony gets to me. If you take all the people out there, Eric included, I think there were a few people who brought their Bibles with them. They just didn't tell us.
Beautiful moment for all the candidates. You know, what I want to circle back to before we go any further is talking about some of those key issues. Some of the key issues that Mayor Ellen Hochstadt discussed at the end of her speech that you folks just heard tonight. Some of those key issues included taxation, priority budgeting, efficiency while reducing costs, the education, tackling homelessness, growing the grand list and expanding revenue. Those are some big ticket items. Those are some huge issues here in the city of Bristol, David.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to encapsulate how big Bristol is. You look at our budget, we're 60,000 people, we are a city, and we're going to have issues. So I think the big part of it was, and I think it was kind of reiterated in the pastor's closing statements in her prayer, it was that,
excuse us, we are live and we are here. So this happened when you're live streaming. No worries. Go ahead, David.
so it was, she talked to Pastor about building bridges. And then I think the mayor-elect also, what she did is she talked a lot about how this was not a thing of parties, but of people. Bristol is people. These are Bristol issues. We've been there before. Our history has shown that we've been there before, right from the Rockwells, through the bishops who actually went through and guided the city financially up into the 60s and 70s of other challenges that we had. So, you know, city streets, nice streets. You can't argue about wanting to have good streets. You can't argue about having quality of education. So I think this was the message of unity to say we're working this together. And it's not something we're going to do in lockstep. It's something we're going to do together, and it's going to take some deliberation and time. And for people who are citizens, you know, coming out and sharing your voices, but also understanding that the process is place to make things happen. And so I think the issues to talk about, like the taxes, the education, so even the homeless issue, and so infrastructure. But there were certain things she said in her speech where she talked about education. She told the teachers, "We hear you." So the homeless, she said, "We see you."
That's something that I wanted to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up because to the local and small businesses out there who you were worried, who you were going to vote for, and you put your trust if you voted for Ellen Hochstadt, she said, and I quote, "We see you," just like you said, and across the board, not just to local and small businesses, to the homeless as well, like you mentioned. We see you. So that's a clear indication that she has a grip on what's going on in this city. She wants to make a difference, and only time will tell to see what happens. But her message tonight was, "We see you."
And the other thing too, she did talk about you know, public safety and infrastructure. Infrastructure is a funny word. Infrastructure is part of its streets, it's sewers, it's wiring in new buildings, it's plans. And those are the things people don't see until they're completed buildings. And that's a lot about what this administration brings and what they're going to have to cover. But she did talk about public safety. She talked about supporting the police and the fire department. And she says maintaining high standards and giving people resources to get things done that need to be done and to maintain those high standards.
And you know what I thought was interesting? As someone who's new to Bristol, a year or so into Bristol, that she gave us some education. In 1969, that GM got Chip and Kill, and they invested in the city to keep jobs. Those are things that are important to the city, and she has the background of the city, and she wants to bring that back. She's fully invested in the city of Bristol. And I think that's amazing to hear for someone who's newly inaugurated to bring back some of those traditions. She talks about how much they love the city, and not only that, talk about some of the things that happened in the past that they can do for the future.
And you got to remember, this is not her first rodeo.
Correct. My first rodeo, not hers.
Right, so she's been there, she understands, and she can run as much as she can. And you have to work in these structures as large as the city of Bristol. So it's a very, you know, hopeful message, very exciting message. It's one of coming together, not being separate, overcoming, saying the resources to overcome call them any division and to build bridges. I hit all those areas.
And to your point of building bridges, and I want to speak to something as a Hispanic here in the United States and the climate that we're living in now. She had a message towards the immigrants, and that's the next version to say that. She said, the cycles of history are meant to teach us, okay? And she had a message, she said, we see you and we welcome you.
She also tied into history. She said her great-grandfather, who was Italian, and then her great-great-grandfather, who was Irish. I think I got that in the right order.
I believe so. I am here, she said.
Yeah, she came here, and so that's a wonderful heritage to have, and to remember that and embrace it. So embracing people, she said, people from Bangladesh.
Yeah.
People from Cameroon. It's like, if you're out there, you're going to meet different people, and you want to welcome those people.
That's a whole lot of different type of people from all over the place here in Bristol, Connecticut.
Exactly.
And I didn't know that person, so that's something that educated me as well. So I learned so much tonight, not only from her speech that she gave, but some of the history that she provided alongside her speech towards the end.
Well, she's a little bit of a geek too. So, like, I love the ceremony. I love the people who come together. If you look through this audience, and this place was packed tonight. And of course, it was a victory and a party. As much as you talk about bringing people together, but there are a lot of people who want Bristol to do well, and I think that spirit can continue with the energy that was created.
I know here at the Bristol District, we try to encapsulate how many people were in this auditorium. This auditorium was pretty filled up.
There are between 275 and 300 people here.
That's a lot of folks. That's great support. That's something you want to see. As your new mayor of the city of Bristol is getting sworn into office, is a huge supporting to back her up. And we saw that tonight. As you said, I don't know many empty seats that were here. I didn't count.
It was interesting too. We had Luke Brennan here, who was former mayor of Hartford. We have Susan Weissman here, who is the governor. Bristol has ties through the state, and we developed those ties. And we have a network that's supporting us as much as we're supporting them all. Yeah. And if you look at the experience of the people on that stage, we've got combined hundreds of years of we are alive. Yeah. It's
that's what happened, right?
So, but if you talk about that, and that was Tom O'Brien, who just came by here, who was on the Board of Education for 30 years. It's like, that's the kind of people you have here who've been involved and invested in public life for years. But that combined knowledge and wisdom, there's lots that we can do. And there's an invitation for new people. Come along, too.
But there was, we didn't discuss real briefly. It was announced today that there's a few candidates who wouldn't make it. Was it one candidate who didn't make it tonight? Jennifer Van Gorder. She was sworn in. So Jennifer Van Gorder, for everyone tuning in right now, was sworn in earlier. She couldn't make it here tonight. So if you did not see her tonight getting sworn in, that's the reason why. I just want to go briefly over some of these folks who swore some of these inductees. And Gregory Hahn, the oath was administered by Rippy Patton. Rippy Patton is a member of the community, and then we have Eric Rosenberg.
Well, Rippy, if people know Rippy, he's a candidate for the Board of Education in the past. He's also run for council. He's been on a member of PTC, but he's also a Bristol supporter. He's a lifelong Bristol person. And he has a lot of energy and a lot of passion about Bristol.
When I moved to Bristol, and just give you a quick story, when I moved to Bristol, David, I ran into Rippy at an event. Didn't know who Rippy was, but I ran into him. And I almost left the event because I was new here and I didn't know if I should be there. He welcomed me in, introduced me to people, and one of the primary reasons why I got involved today is people like that who live in the city who are so welcoming. And somebody new, I'm from Texas, and so a stand-up guy, personally I can say that because I know him, and it was so awesome to see him swear in moment. Then we have Eric Rosengren. His oath was administered by the Honorable William Hampson.
Bill Hampson is a former state legislator. He is also the probate judge for the sheriff. I did not know that. He's Republican. So you know, Republican.
We move on to Peter King. His oath was administered by
First administration, person brought on from the circumstances. The Democratic candidate for
we move on to Stephen Tyler. Stephen Tyler, unfortunately, so unfortunately, he wasn't able to administer the oath. On behalf of Stephen Tyler, with the Honorable William Hampson.
I don't know if her husband is a court, but sworn in, they had 3 members behind. When you saw that Greg Kahn had his daughter. With Mark Dicka, his daughter, his son-in-law, and his wife. It was Eric, I think Eric Rosenberg had this wife up.
We were notified a little earlier that Stephen Seymour from District 3, he was to be sworn in, and the oath was to be administered by Senator Richard Blumenthal. However, we heard earlier that he was not able to make it. He got stuck in Washington. So, on behalf of Stephen Seymour, he was brought in by who was the lady?
He was sworn in by Lieutenant Governor.
And then we move on to John Odomingo.
He was also the highest vote getter in this last election.
He was administered by Michael Matosa.
Michael Matosa is a union person. Way back. He's retired now. I'm trying to think with the anything I owe. If I get it wrong, I apologize. He's a union person. He's been a big supporter of the
And then the woman of the hour. Her oath was administered by, excuse me, Mary Portier.
She's also the state rep for the 79 Union. She was in Ellen's first administration. And she's a person who works very hard. So she's very clear about how she feels about what Ellen can do, what Ellen's intentions. So it's terrific to see them. It's like the Castro said when he made the instructions, they both are Ellen and Mary are graduates of and they both actually, by the way, they both went to Catholic college. Mary went to Catholic college, Ellen went to Burns.
We had a beautiful rendition of Blind on Gospel Child. I couldn't just help to stand there and just to watch, like, this is beautiful. It encapsulated me. It brought the moment together. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It was really good to watch. So, shout out to Sarah Sherman, who gave her rendition of Gospel.
Also, shout out not only to the vocalists, but also to the members of the band. Don set is on bass, Scott is on piano, Scott Knox on sax, and Robo is on drums. They were, we also had here represented here, we had the Bristol Police Honor Guard.
This boy who sang the Star Spangled Banner about open up the ceremony. He listened. Because it's great to it's what we need. Right here. Yes. I love the United States. I love Texas. I love Connecticut.
It's Star Spangled Banner.
a night like tonight really encapsulates what this is all about. Politics, and sometimes we see the good, the bad, and the ugly. But a night like tonight, we get to celebrate those who were elected by you, the people, by you, the residents of Bristol, Connecticut. And that's to celebrate and introduce our newly city council mayor, in appeals, the Board of Education. At Churchill. Right. It was a beautiful night. We really appreciate all the viewers who continue to tune in to the Bristol edition. And we thank you so much, and we hope to do more like this. More like this. I guess a big promise the last time we saw you for the election.
Candidate form. We had our now we got our inauguration. Where we go from here?
Yeah, I want to thank Angelo, who's here, but he is on camera at the moment. He has been running up and down, helping run our switcher, manning both of our cameras, making sure that we look good on camera just as we possibly can. Right? Really helping us out behind the scenes. So a big shout out to him. We want to thank this beautiful facility for allowing us to set up.
If you haven't been out to the Rockwell, it's time you get out to the Rockwell.
This place is huge. This place is huge.
And the shows have been great downtown. It's sponsored by the Bristol Parks and Rec. Bristol Parks, Recreation, Youth and Community Services.
Yes. So, David, anything else to add?
I think it was a wonderful combination of a long campaign. I did want to mention that, we talked about the winners tonight, but we also, the people who also participated in the campaign, you've got to hand it to them for stepping out and attempting, once again, to become part of the conversation. Just because they're not elected officials doesn't mean they can't reach out and actually contribute to what's happening. So I just want to shout out to the people who run for it.
It takes a lot of guts to put your name out there.
It's not an easy thing to do. Election night is stressful. The whole campaign is stressful. And so I admire anyone who puts their head on and steps out into the public arena, and tries to get people's attention.
And one more quick note, stay tuned because you may have noticed that part one of David Fortier's interview with newly elected Mayor Ellen Zoppo-Sassu came out. Now, we're going to release part two of that interview. So tomorrow we release part two of David Fortier's interview with the Bristol edition with newly elected Mayor Ellen Zoppo-Sassu. Guarantee you're not going to want to miss it. Live here tonight, I'm Aaron Lopez. This is David Fortier. David, good night.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Always
working with you.
And thank you for viewing.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Oh, super. It's so much fun. I wish I had a prepared script.